Hello everyone, I'm Manisha Gawari from PIS ICSE, Sambhaji Nagar, Aurangabad. Today, I will explain you how one can remember different figures of speech. Figures of speech? Yes, you heard me right. The way in English language we do have parts of speech, the same way in English literature we do have figures of speech. The poets use different figures of speech in the poem to enhance the poem, to give it a poetic effect. The figures of speech is a creative use of language to generate an effect. So today I am here to tell you, or rather give you, the key points to remember different figures of speech. By this, you will be able to identify, remember the different figures of speech, and you can nail it whenever in the examination it is asked to you that which figure of speech is asked in the given lines. So let's start. The first figure of speech is alliteration. Alliteration is a repetition of same initial consonant sound. Remember, same initial consonant sound, not a vowel sound. A consonant sound. And what is the key point to remember it? To remember the alliteration, you need to remember the tongue twisters. You all might have learned tongue twisters. She sells the seashells at the seashore. Betty bought some batter, but her batter was bitter, so she brought some other batter to make her bitter batter better. चंदू के चाचा ने चंदू की चाची को चांदनी चौक में चांदनी रात में चांदी के चमचे से चटनी चटाई. So all these tongue twisters, what is common in them? You find that the first initial sound, the initial consonant sound is the same. Chandu, chacha, chachi, chammach, cha sound is repeated. Betty bought butter, batter, bitter, b sound is repeated. She sells the seashells at the seashore. Sound is repeated. So what do we understand? Whenever there is an initial consonant sound repeated, it is what figure of speech? That's right, it's alliteration. So alliteration, tongue twisters. Alliteration, tongue twisters, the same initial consonant sound. Here you go. Now the next figure of speech, what I'm going to tell you, is the hyperbole. Hyperbole is a figure of speech in which there is an exaggeration done. An exaggeration which is a deliberate exaggeration. So hyperbole is exaggerating. It's बढ़ा चढ़ा के boling, right? So how do we remember hyperbole? Hyperbole, it's बढ़ा चढ़ा के बोल. For example, oh, I'm that hungry that I can eat a horse. Oh, I'm so hungry. If I don't eat food, I will die. Am I really going to die if I won't eat food? No, not really. Am I that hungry that I can eat a horse? No, not at all. So what I am doing? I am exaggerating the things. I am telling the things larger than what actually the reality is. Right? So, whenever I am exaggerating something, you are saying that अरे ये बढ़ा चढ़ा के बोल रही है. So, what is hyperbole? बढ़ा चढ़ा के बोल, it's a hyperbole. So, whenever you find that the poet is exaggerating something in the poem, or in the given line, so you can identify it is a hyperbole in the given line. Okay, so what we have learned? We have learned alliteration. Alliteration is repetition of same initial consonant sound. To remember that, what is the key point? Yes, the tongue twisters you need to remember. You won't forget alliteration. What is hyperbole? Bada chada ke bol. It's a hyperbole. That's right. Now let's move ahead to the third figure of speech. Personification. I remember in my childhood, my teacher used to give me a big word and she used to say that now you can make small words out of the given word. You can use the letters and make new words out of the given words. And I'm quite sure even in your childhood, your teacher has asked you the same. So personification, or very significantly, what word I could make it out? Person, for sure. With the remaining words, I can make many words, but the action is the more prominent one. Towards the end, I can find it out. So personification, I get two main words very prominently without much of effort, that is person and action. So whenever a person's action, a human being's action is given to an inanimate thing, an inanimate object, I say it is a personification. For example, that the moon is walking in the sky. The flowers are dancing along with their friends. The trees are holding the arms of each other. So what do we find? That moon is an inanimate object. The moon cannot walk. Who walks? We human beings. Who dance? Yes, we tiptoe when we are happy. Who hold each other's hand? We each other hold hands and walk together. So it's a human quality which is given to an inanimate object, and we say it is a personification. When a person's action is given to an inanimate thing, it's a personification. So remember, whenever a person's action is given to an inanimate thing, we can say that it is a personification. The rock is sitting like a demon. Now, the rock is sitting. That particular word tells us that the rock is doing an action which is a human quality, like sitting. So you can say that it is personification. Okay, let's move ahead with the other figure of speech. Oxymoron. The word oxymoron, oxy, what it reminds you? That's right. Oxy reminds us of oxygen. Oxygen is also called as the life gas, Jeevan, Jeevan Vayu, right? In Hindi we do term it as Jeevan Vayu, right? And opposite of Jeevan is Maran, right? I do remember my Bengali friend who used to always say, oh, ये मेरे जीवन मरण का प्रश्न है. Jeevan Moran. So she never pronounced it as Maran, but she pronounced it as Moran. So that's what I relate oxymoron. Oxy is Jeevan and Moran means death. Jeevan Moran together. That is two contradictory ideas come together. Two opposite ideas or the words come together. That is what is oxymoron. Remember, whenever the poet uses two opposite words in a given line of a poem, we say it is oxymoron. There is no other word used in between. We do find many examples in our day-to-day life. Whenever we go to a store, there is a door on which one side it is written pull and the other push. In and out. Ladies and gents. Right? So this category, that there is no other word in between and the two opposite words are used. The same way, when two opposite words are used in a poem by the poet, we say it is oxymoron's figure of speech. Like awfully good, grow smaller, climb down. So these are two contradictory ideas which are used together, and we say it is oxymoron. So till now we have seen 4 figure of speech, the different keywords to remember. So let's revise. For alliteration, what do we remember? That's right, tongue twisters. For hyperbole, what is the thing which we need to remember? It's bada chada ke bol, it's a hyperbole. That's right, exaggeration. The third one, personification, the person's action. Whenever human action is given to an inanimate object, we say it is a personification. Fourth one, we have seen that it is oxymoron. Oxymoron, Jeevan moron. When two opposite ideas come together, we say it is oxymoron, a figure of speech. Now, if you have any other figure of speech which you find that it is difficult to remember, please do put it in the comment box that which figure of speech you find it difficult to remember. I would give you a key point, and I'm quite sure you won't forget that figure of speech, or you will never find it difficult to identify that figure of speech in the given poem or in the given lines. So thank you, stay tuned and do subscribe and like my channel. Thank you very much.